Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today I'll be doing a video that got sent to me yesterday. Sorry I couldn't get to it yesterday, I was quite busy. Lord of the Rings, all FX removed by, who was this from? Fame Focus. Myself, I love the Lord of the Rings. Like a lot of you, I'm sure I've spent a weekend sitting down and just blasting through the extended versions. The Hobbit, now I'm not a big fan of. That could have been just 2 movies. I think 3 was stretching it. Let me know down below, what was your favourite Lord of the Rings movie? Mine was the second one, The Two Towers. What do you think of all of this Amazon taking over the Lord of the Rings, making a series out? What do you think is a good thing? Do you think it should just be left? I'm curious to see how this is and how they did all the VFX. I'm sure it's a lot of old clips and interviews probably put together. It's only a little over 7 minutes long, so remember to like, comment, sub. All links down below. Feel free to support the channel, so on and so forth. And let's just get into this. I'm curious on how they do this.
Pretty much everybody has seen the Lord of the Rings trilogy and marvelled at the incredible scale of it all. Tremendous battles with thousands of CG agents, massive magical creatures like Treebeard, Balrog and Shelob, and of course the famous use of motion capture for the creation of Gollum. These achievements were brilliant, so brilliant that perhaps they have blinded us to the other incredible work that, in comparison, has been hugely underdocumented.
Miniatures.
Lord of the Rings Peter Jackson is a miniature enthusiast and, from a very early age, began making, filming and destroying his own miniatures. In the Lord of the Rings trilogy, a huge amount of work went into the design, creation and destruction of miniatures, and without them, the films would have not had the same aesthetic or emotion.
Didn't even think about miniatures, I just assumed all visual effects.
For the City of the Dead, the design team took their inspiration not only from the book, but also from a place called Petra in Jordan.
I knew that looked familiar.
It was Jackson's idea that the necropolis should crack open.
Was that in Indiana Jones as well?
Of all the people who had been interred there. The mechanism was set up and the shot tested, but the initial 200 skulls that were estimated to be needed were deemed far too little, and the number quickly grew to 2,000, then 10,000, then 50,000, until finally reaching 80,000, which was approximately a cubic meter of miniature skulls.
Plonk.
However, the weight of so many skulls behind the mechanism made it very sensitive, and any vibration would cause the skulls to fall, and then the whole thing had to be cleaned up and reloaded.
Jesus. I'm guessing they're all styrofoam, maybe. Cool.
Minas Tirith was the biggest architectural model made for the trilogy, and it was built at a 122:1 scale. It was 23 feet tall and 21 feet in diameter, and it contained over 1,000 handmade individual houses. Other models of different sections of streets and buildings were built at 14:1 scale with incredible detail, including flower pots and washing lines.
I wish I was that talented.
The close-up detailed shots that wouldn't have been possible with the smaller scale main model. Minas Morgul was actually a Gondorian city before falling into Sauron's hands. So the design team based it on Minas Tirith, with its white stone but added rusty iron balustrades which had dirtied and stained the white stone. 2 models were made. One was 121 scale and the second was 3 times bigger and used for close-up shots. In order to give the models the corpse-like glow depicted in the book, they painted the models with special paint and then lit them with UV light.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Another detail that tends to get lost within the marvels of the films is the difference in scale between Gandalf, the hobbits, the elves, and the dwarfs. A combination of various techniques was used to achieve this. One was to alter the size of the world around the actors by creating different size sets. For example, at Bag End, 2 different size sets were built.
I'm guessing the hobbits are on a platform. Understand the way.
Every book, cup, or candle had to be made twice in 2 different sizes. Even Gandalf's cart was built in different scales.
Oh, so when he's sitting on it.
Another technique was to alter the size of the actors themselves. This was achieved by hiring doubles for the hobbits, and actors that were only 4 feet tall and could be shot from behind wearing a wig, or shot from a distance wearing a specially developed silicone mask.
Jesus.
Big doubles were also used to replace Aragorn, so the hobbits would seem smaller. They also used something they called big rigs, which were big suits that a stilt walker could get into and walk by the hobbits to give the illusion of scale.
I'm guessing that's maybe how they done Treebeard.
Other techniques that were used were in-camera perspective tricks. By shooting an object at an angle, you can make it seem bigger or smaller. If you shoot from below, the object seems bigger. If you shoot from above, smaller. Another perspective trick is called forced perspective. Forced perspective is an old technique where, by positioning an object further away from the camera, you make it look smaller. However, the Lord of the Rings team managed to create their own forced perspective technique that enabled them to be able to move the camera whilst still maintaining the illusion. This was done by having one of the objects set up on a movable rig. This rig then moves in unison with the camera, but in the opposite direction, thus maintaining the perspective. But one of the most important things about these types of shot was maintaining eye lines. Actors would have to look at several different places during the shot, so that in camera they still appear to be looking at each other.
So that was super hard. This makes me want to go back and watch the movies again.
This technique involves shooting the 2 actors separately and then combining both shots to make one. They would either shoot a pass with one actor against a blue screen and then shoot another pass with the other actor against a blue screen, but from further away, or they would use computer software to scale one shot down before compositing. This year, we await the new Amazon Prime Video Lord of the Rings series, and it looks like Industrial Light and Magic will be the leading VFX house. Although it remains to be seen, if the effects are only half as good as those in the films, we're in for something really special.
Please don't screw it up.
Please give us a like if you enjoyed this video. Don't forget the links to the music used in this video are in the video description, and a big thanks to you if you made it to the end of this video and are hearing this message. Please let us know in the comments section if you did.
Also, let me know if you've got any more videos like this. Feel free to leave them down below, and let me know if you want me to react to them or any other videos like this. Also, feel free to head over and give Fame Focus a subscribe and a like, but of course not before you do it for me. So yeah, so that was I'm surprised they didn't separate that into 3 different videos for Lord of the Rings, like for the Fellowship, 2 Towers, and Return of the King. I'm sure there's a lot more. I'm sure they're on bonus Blu-rays or UHD discs that you can get. But yeah, let me know down below what do you think of this. If there's anything more like this, please leave it down below. If you have any questions or things you want to react to, leave them down below, and I will see you all in the next reaction.